Welcome back to the Mario Kart World Cup. We have today a very intriguing matchup. My name is Jinja, and I'm joined by Manny, and we have Brazil and Hong Kong, Taiwan. Both of these teams in the play-in stage. This is Group Z, and this matchup in particular is very intriguing. What do you have to say about that, Manny?
I agree on that. We have very high div players on each side. We're gonna see a very good contest between both teams today. This is the only group out of the four groups that has three teams only, so every match is worth, I would say, even more than the other groups. So very huge match today here for the opener.
Yeah, so this matchup in particular, we got Brazil, and they've played eight deluxe, the World Cup before, and they did very well. I believe they got 11th in that, and they were very well. Here's their lineup, by the way. Laura is their captain as well as KTPG, and this team has experience. They have experience in key situations. They placed high in the last World Cup for eight deluxe, but in World, it's a different game. You really don't know what's going to happen with this one because Hong Kong, Taiwan has that firepower as well. But Brazil with this lineup is just, and the amount of subs they have is very impressive.
Yeah, we have Laura here playing for GB, KTPG, Burt, Curry, all playing for Licorice, high div players, EDU playing for Jackpot, Fought playing for Zogs. I think that's the other way around, sorry. Correct if I'm wrong, but very strong lineup all around. They all know each other very well. There's a lot of Brazilian only teams for just like Atlas League, for example. So they have a lot of chemistry between each other. And history, they've been here before. Not in the game, not in the same game. This is the first WC for MKWorld, but let's see how they do.
Yeah, and honestly, this team, as you said, very coordinated. They know that how to play each other, and just the amount of that really comes into it. But we'll look at Hong Kong, Taiwan's lineup in a second. But the fact is, they do have experience too. They placed 25th at the last eight deluxe World Cup, but again, that experience matters, and I feel like this lineup in particular is very interesting. We really don't know much about it, but it's going to be interesting to see what these players put up with.
Charlie being a player for Velocity, Bear playing for Acceleration, both players playing in the same team. Acceleration being the second team with Velocity, so very good chemistry there. Hong Kong, Taiwan actually have their own team in terms of just outside of World Cup, so very good chemistry there. Same with like yesterday's primetime, we had Venezuela and the Dominican Republic. Venezuela have their own team. The same thing with Hong Kong, Taiwan. They know each other very well.
Yeah, so both of these teams knowing each other very well. They definitely have the chemistry for it. And I feel like that's going to matter, especially on those tracks where you have to be good at them. You have to be able to run them extremely well, or else you're going to get left in the back of the pack, and you're really not going to find the best way to catch up. So it's going to matter a lot here, and the strategies behind it as we are almost ready to get underway here. It's really going to determine what kind of these teams, the strategies they're going to play. It's going to matter a lot here.
Yeah, they want to keep the front spots a lot. Make sure you keep the back spots. Get one of the odds. Option can only push off from bottom two. You could pull intent, very rare. Not many teams take that into account recently. So, um, we talked a lot about the update. Obviously, very recent. So it's gonna be brought up a lot. But as we see teams get used to it, with the new update, there's a starting spot rule where the hosting team is 1-4, the other team is 2-3. So as we are about to get underway, I think they're on the track select screen. So
Indeed, and we see that at least on our end, they're starting to pick here, but we see that Bowser's Castle is going to be picked from, I believe that's Taiwan, and Toad's Factory as well. Two tracks that are interesting in nature, but we are going to go to Bowser's Castle, and this track immediately starts off with the running ability. You have to be able to hit those shortcuts. You have to be able to get to the front immediately because this track in particular is just so run heavy.
that was the AE87 first up on our POV here. Very big cut at the start, obviously. So as long as he hits it, he should be gone in one. Hopefully, gets more triple shrooms from the first set, maybe even. So let's see if he keeps the lead.
So this important start here. Oh, but it misses the rail. Gonna lose a little bit of time there, but does pull that ghost in first, and unfortunately cannot hit that shortcut and will fall into the lava. But does not lose that much time because of the fact that many people didn't go for that shortcut, and not having a box in the middle of the pack is gonna be interesting to say the least. I do like the strategy of going around, but we switch off to Laura, who does take the shortcut, does having shrooms in the front, and that's going to help them a little bit. Oh, unfortunately, getting it stolen, and that's not necessarily what you want to see here early on.
Yeah, we see Hong Kong having top two with a bunch of the mid-low spots. So in terms of the presence in the fronts, I'd say they're doing excellent right now. Getting ghosted is unfortunate. As Law pulls a horn here, could be horning any of the backs coming from Barrett, but no backs coming. He barely makes the cut as he keeps first, and it's 1-3 Taiwan.
And having that front presence is really good for Taiwan at this point, especially with the amount of items that are going to be pulled in the back of the pack. You have to set yourself well here for any situation. But we do see Laura shrooming up here and getting rid of the bomb, backing it. And this red here is going to be a very interesting pull, putting themselves in a great position, as well as having that feather. Can take the cut on the bottom without having to do much. And the blue shell coming out now, so this is going to give Laura an opportunity to really take over first. And the red, unfortunately, not going to hit them at this time, but as we see that feather cut, making that cut so much easier.
Feather cut is incredibly fast. Top pulling that. I think Bear was trying to slow down, either to drop for blue or just trying to get Laura in the explosion, but very, very unfortunate blue for Hong Kong, Taiwan, as Brazil have 1-3-4. I think they've reclaimed all the top spots. If Hong Kong, Taiwan have a shock, it's huge for them here. But if not, it could be just a free run for Brazil.
Yeah, and having defense here, Laura is setting themselves up well. But here comes Taiwan into first. Oh, that gets the snipe off, and that's going to be huge for them as they basically take all of the top spots in this race.
No, Hong Kong Taiwan kept it. They got first.
They got first. Okay.
Wow, I think that was lag, but that play was definitely what you want to see from Brazil. They get 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, 10. I think that's a decent salvage from Hong Kong Taiwan, only a -10, but that play from Laura, that's what you want to see from your top players. Those plays, that green shot. I think even just taking that path in general is faster, but really, really good play there.
Yeah, honestly, it was something that was amazing and definitely didn't expect. But getting first there definitely salvaged it a little bit, as you said. And it really comes down to execution. And I think Brazil just had a better strategy that race of really making it back to the front and sort of grouping up together and getting those top spots as much as possible and really sticking together. But again, that's race one. It's a good start for Brazil, but again, we have a long way to go here. And these matches do matter, as you said. We only have 3 teams in this group, so and top 2 teams advance in each group. So you really have to play perfect to advance here. And there is a big opportunity though to advance. So again, it's really going to matter because of that.
As we go on to Toad's Factory, a pick I would assume from. Actually, I don't know who would pick this. I think both teams have pretty decent spots for Toad's Factory. The starting set is going to be very hectic, but it's kind of broken if you keep the front presence because there's just not a lot of comeback potential bar pulling the bill. So.
Yeah, this track in particular, you have a big opportunity, obviously at the end of the lap, but this start too really matters, getting an item box because of the amount of hope. But see, as I said, AE missing that item box, so they're probably going to have to play without an item here. And avoiding all these items is going to be harder said than done, but they are managing themselves well and able to get 2 here, and triple mushrooms is a big pull, especially for that end. And having defense as well with those triple bananas is a great item to have.
But we see a great play with the star there, just smashing into every single Hong Kong Taiwan player there, and it being able to stream into top 2 as AE87 gets redded, and it's top 3 Brazil with a red shell. But the blue comes out, and they have a horn in 1. keeps a lot of top presence for Brazil here, but it's really close pack if you look at the mini map there.
Yeah, this pack is extremely close. We do see one of actually, never mind. This pack is very, very close. And that horn being pulled at the perfect time, Lara definitely uses that to their advantage. And as well as having triple reds here is just such a massive play. And that's going to give them at least a chance to bring more of themselves into that top presence. And getting hit there isn't the end of the world. They're just going to back up and hope for more items.
Yeah, can't shame that Shroom are gonna get something really bad like a single green shell. But it's currently top 2, 4, 5, I think, for Brazil. Hong Kong, Taiwan, if they have... No, it's bottom 2 as well for Brazil, so they have all the shock odds at the moment. Unless Hong Kong, Taiwan have the shock, giving Brazil free bottom 2 is really costly. Let's see if they do pull the shock. A bill is huge at this point of the race, as there's a huge extension right up ahead.
Yeah, that's really going to give themselves a great spot here to catch up. Here comes Brazil, the bottom 2 having bills as well. And right now, it's looking like they are putting themselves in a great position. We do see Max in 4th, but is that going to be enough for them at this point? Oh, getting into the line there, losing a little bit of time. They actually managed to get 4th, so never mind. I think that might be a 1-3-4, possibly.
1, 2, 4, 5. An okay salvage from Hong Kong, Taiwan, but Brazil just took the front presence right away. That start at the start, kind of tongue twister there, start at the start, was really good for Brazil, just mashing it to every single Hong Kong, Taiwan player and just killing them all out to get the front presence.
Yeah, and it definitely helped that they were able to really keep it and giving themselves bottom 2, as you said. It matters a lot here. And I did see Brazil having that a lot more, and I feel like that kind of played into it all, and they really couldn't. They got to make sure if you're Hong Kong, Taiwan, try to get those bottom 2 odds, because it really helps at the end of the day.
Yeah, Brazil, they're not pulling the shock, but they're pulling the bills, and that track and also in DC, bills are really, really good. So even if you're okay with giving your opponents a shock odds for whatever reason, you're also giving them the bills, so which is really, really strong in this game post update, or not even the recent update, the one before that. So really strong.
So we're going to go to Desert Hills here, and this track is great for Hong Kong, Taiwan, because they can back at the start, get really good items, and then hold that for a long time and really push up at the end. And the end of this track is absolute chaos. You really don't know what's going to happen, because the amount of items that people are going to have is crazy. But we see AE not pulling any items actually at the start, but running this. I like this strategy for them. They can, if they get hit, they can fall behind. But again, such a great strategy. Pulling a ghost as well. Such a great item to have.
He can steal EDU shrooms here. He does. Really good as he goes with 4 shrooms in 1 here. This is really good for them. I think they currently have more of the top odds. Triple shrooms in 1 is huge for Hong Kong, Taiwan, I think, as they are top 2 with shrooms.
Yeah, but again, we do see a swoop in the back, and I think we see one Hong Kong, Taiwan member. They are not giving bottom 2 odds fully to Brazil. They're going to have 1 of each team back. But these 2 shrooms in first is going to be huge. They're going to opt to use 1 here, and I like that play. Trying to give themselves more of a lead, and they're going to opt to take this no item shortcut up here. Taking it with a good amount of execution. Having to burn that shroom there isn't the best play, but again, having themselves and building themselves more of a lead and just trying to keep first is the name of the game here. But again, this pack's just so close.
Not being able to get that boosted charge up out to get the Nisk is unfortunate. Still in 1, they're top 2. A shot could be devastating here as he goes for the Nisk here. Gets the charge jump out. Really beautiful. If he gets this Nisk out, it's probably a first place here for Hong Kong, Taiwan, bar a golden shroom coming up here. He does not get his charge jump out early enough, and it's still first, I think, for Hong Kong, Taiwan, but it's a huge loss of spots from AE87. 8 is not a bad salvage for him. Usually you would get last from a fail like that, but he somehow thought of that. Bottom 4 for Brazil.
Brazil. So that's definitely a race that Hong Kong, Taiwan desperately needed. And Desert Hills is the track to do it. So they're going to put themselves in a much better position here.
Yeah, if AE87 didn't fail there, it would have been probably winning actually on Brazil right now. But You can't dwell on those losses. You failed the NIST. It's okay. Just go next. You're down 2. You got a huge race. You got the momentum.
You definitely have the momentum here, as you said. But again, it's early and really anything could happen. But having a good race like that after the first 2 races is very telling of momentum. And it can change in an instant depending on the track in this game. And I feel like that's going to be a big indicator. But we do see on our end, we see Whistle Stop Summit and Shy Guy Bazaar being picked on our end. So that's going to be telling of the tracks that are going to be played. But Whistle Stop is the pick, and this track is very, very interesting.
Very strong for Brazil here as they have bottom 4. You can go for the rails in the top 4 spots as Hong Kong Taiwan have most of that. And they kept the top spots a lot in Desert Hills. They kept top 2 the entire time. Unfortunately for AE87, he did fail, but they ran the entire time. So you need to keep doing that more and more again. Run, keep your top spots, and you will win. That's just the name of the game. Keep your front presence, manage the back odds well, and let's see how they do here at the start of Whistle Stop.
I don't think a lot of people went for that rail because you can only go for it in, I believe, the bottom 6 positions. So I'm surprised not many people went for it. But at the same time, I think they're setting themselves up well for better items down the stretch. But we see a lot of people going for the big charge jump turn skip, and that's going to be a very telling shortcut. And also this shortcut coming up as well, cutting off that rail. Many players are going to go for it, actually, but I don't think many of them made it either. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens later on here.
It's very close top 7 here. I'm seeing just from the minimap. Gets the world record. I don't know if that was intentional or if it was. Very impressive from Laura here. As we see, top 2, 4, 5 for Brazil. I think one of them just died. Oh, it's first for Hong Kong Taiwan. As I think one of their teammates just killed them on the drive-by, but no. Laura drives into first with a shroom and a feather in 1, which they're going to be able to take the cut in the next lap if they do hit this miss.
That is the first time I've seen. Yeah.
That was not what I was expecting. I'm kind of shocked from that. But it's kind of causing a lot of chaos with the Goombas. It's bottom 2 right now for Brazil, so they're holding all the shot odds at the moment.
And that's kind of what you need in this situation, to have those shock odds, especially on a track like this, where now would be a great time to use it because it would be after the item set and really catch a lot of people off guard. We see AE actually going around. I actually like that strategy because of the chance of it, but I don't know if there's actually going to be a shock hold, and they're going to opt to go for the bottom here, and I kind of like that play for them.
Ooh, going for the green shell. Here. Might be losing a lot of spots for that. Yeah, loses 2 spots. I think that's a huge race again for Hong Kong Taiwan, actually. They had like top 5 at the end there, but I think some Brazil players broke into the top 5. Really good race. Another bottom 3 for Brazil. Not the greatest races. Could not pull the shock even though they got all the odds. But Hong Kong Taiwan they just chained 2 huge races back to back. They're right back in it. They're winning. They're not even back in, they're winning.
They're not just winning. They're up 18, and to have a race like that, and have a 2 races like that, is just so massive, and it put themselves in a great position approaching that halfway mark. And we have 2 races to go until then. So if you get one more good race here, it's going to be hard for Brazil to really adjust and make a comeback here. But such a great start from Hong Kong Taiwan, just exactly what they needed after those last 2.
Yeah, just holding that front spot, top presence, getting those. I think at the end of, or the middle of lap 2, I saw a lot of red up there, but I think Hong Kong Taiwan just took them all out. And all of a sudden, they're all in the top spots. Lara going for that feather cut, which I can't give much insight on because I've never seen that, like, ever. Whether it's low, mid, or high, like it's a new thing I should go and look up to see how it works. But after that, they just took over the front spots. They were top 5 after the second set. But really good from Hong Kong Taiwan. Let's see if Brazil can come back on this race.
Yeah, we go to Shy Guy Bazaar here, and these players are going to opt to go for the crowded starting shortcut, and a lot of players made it. But also, we see AE on the bottom. They're going to opt to really play it safe here, and I like this strategy, building up their coin counter. They have 13 coins already, and And that's going to matter here into the later stages of this race, just finding the right strategies. But at this point, I think Brazil is at least a couple of top spots as well as Taiwan. They are pretty balanced here to start.
I see a bomb beef coming up on the left there. I think it's 1-6 for Hong Kong Taiwan right now. A lot of Brazil in the mid to front presence here. As we see A87 going into the front, trying to maybe bump Laura off with this shroom. It's 1-4 for Hong Kong Taiwan. So let's see. Maybe he's going to go for the turn skip cut here. And he does land it very nicely. And he has a shroom in 3 as it's top 2 Brazil, I think. Yeah, top 2 Brazil.
Yeah, and that's going to really be a great indicator. Also, having a shroom in first, it's interesting to see where they're going to use this to an extent because they do have that green and they kind of realize, oh, that might have been lag, but shrooming there, I like that strategy, trying to build themselves. Oh, but the red coming out, and that's going to cost them a lot of time actually and really lose that. And now Hong Kong, Taiwan is back in first.
I think it's top 2 Hong Kong Taiwan as Laura's probably not be able to go for the turn skip shortcut here as AE87 lands it. I think it's top 3. No, top 2, sorry, still. Hong Kong Taiwan as the shock comes out. I think that was Hong Kong Taiwan, so they're very far back in last. And it was them who dodged in that bill.
Oh, absolutely. And right now, just I think it's like top 3, maybe top 4 in there, but yeah, just not the type of pull you want to pull. Yeah, you just have to.
And no.
Yeah.
It is going to be a lot of the mid spots for Brazil as Hong Kong Taiwan do get last, but they also get top 3 to compensate for that a lot. Let's see where else they placed here. They get top 3, 5-7. Another huge race for Hong Kong Taiwan. They just clawed back instantly after those 2 races. Very, very impressive performance from them there. The red shell from, I don't recall, I think it was Max on Laura. At the start of lap 3 that just got them out of the front spots and was unable to take that fast path onto the turn skip.
Yeah, and they really have turned themselves around, having 3 great races after those first 2. I mean, the strategy must have changed on a whim because they really found themselves in a great position here. Now they can really opt to go for any sort of big track here to really even give themselves more of a lead, and it's going to come down to that. It's just execution right now. And if you're Brazil, only down 40 after those 3, you can make those adjustments on the fly. You had 2 great races to start, but Sky High Sunday and Dandelion Depths, and we are going to Sky High, and this is a very interesting pick once again.
Definitely a favorite track for Hong Kong Taiwan. Definitely their pick as well, I would say. Brazil, they know they can get these good races. They're only down 40. This is the halfway mark of the war, race 6. If they can just dwindle this lead down, they know they can come back because they've had those good races against this team.
Yeah, for sure. And I think this is going to be a huge race that dictates a lot here. But we do see Laura at the start opting to go for items, at least getting a shroom, so they're going to opt to take this shortcut at the front. We see a lot of players actually having multiple shrooms, and again, that's the update in this game at this point. And right now, having a red and a green, at least in this spot, actually isn't too bad because they have double defense.
Try and kill out a Hong Kong Taiwan player as they do. They might get them off the track even, they might have. As I think Brazil are taking over the top spots here, or at least intervening into them. A bomb in 4 for Lara. I think it's top 2 for Brazil. As the bomb comes out with a head bounce, I don't think that killed the Brazil player, and they get redded for that. Very unfortunate string of events for Lara, as we see. Still 1-3, I think, for Brazil, or top 2 even.
And also, we do see, I believe that's 10-12 for Brazil as well. So they have a position where they can get double shock odds, and I feel like at this point it would be helpful, especially if Lara upcoming pulls something very good. But it's going to be interesting to see what kind of adjustments are made, at least in this last lap.
Lara having these shrooms for the cut. Triple shroom, triple reds, can cause some chaos. Might try to red some players off glider, but I think they're top 4, so there's no need for this right now. As I see a Brazil player bailing up. It's top 5 Brazil. A lot of bottom spots for Hong Kong Taiwan. A shot could come out right now as they pull out the triple reds here. No shock. They're in a star. They're in a bill. They might be holding the shock to get the Brazil player out of Bill, but no shock for Hong Kong Taiwan as they keep the top spots. If a shock comes, it can be devastating for Brazil. If no shock, it's devastating for Hong Kong Taiwan. It's a split 50-50 here.
Yeah, in this last corner, it looks like to me Brazil is holding their spots. A great race for Brazil to put themselves back into a great place. We did see the bill coming up, but I don't know if it mattered. I think it might have been top 5 Brazil, possibly. Top 3, 5, 9, 11. But that's such a great race from Brazil, and that's exactly what they needed.
Halfway point of the war, I think there was a DC, follow DC apparently on last race. I think they might have just gotten first. But really good race from Brazil. Halfway point of the war, you're back in it. You were already in it because you're only down a race, down 40. Now you're down even less. I think that was maybe like a more than 20 plus gain. So they can chain this into another race and just gain that momentum back. Both of these teams know we can get big races. So the big players, Laura, Charlie, they need to lead their teams more, get their energy back up, and hopefully they can just chain more good races into more momentum.
Absolutely. And these big races coming up, they are going to be huge. And honestly, I think that this war in particular has been back and forth. It's been the battle of momentum. And both of these teams have had great successes on certain tracks and really fallen into the back in other tracks. But we are going to go to Rainbow Road, and this track is extremely long. You have to find your right strategy, and really that ending as well, just trying to get the ending shortcut is just so massive. But setting yourself up well for that is important too. So this is going to be a very interesting one entering race 7.
River was 4 minutes long. I'm expecting to see a shock here. I think we've only seen a shock on Shy at the Czar. So shock here, even double shock is decently common, I would say, even on Rainbow Road due to the length of it. Holding the top presence, 2 shrooms in first for fall, as they are going to be taking away a lead here. Top 3 for Brazil. Some people would think holding the top presence is not important in this track, but after like lap 3, there's not much you can do to come back. Bar a Bill in last.
Yeah, having a ghost here in 4 is such a great pull to have. Putting themselves up well for really lap 2 in general, honestly. But at this point, you're going to have to opt to really hold on to it for as long as possible because shock is going to be pulled at any time and you really don't know what to expect.
Yeah, the ghost in third is huge. You can pull shock even before this upcoming set. So if they pull a shock, they can use this early and hopefully just dodge Laura in a very high spot. And they're just gone. You just can't stop them. And even if you pull another shock, unless you target shock them at the end, it's very hard to come back.
Oh yeah, for sure. And you could see Laura actually using a ghost for a shortcut coming up here, but I think again they're going to opt to save it for as long as possible because they want to put themselves in a great position. But we do see them using it now, and I actually like that play because the shot coming out and stealing a golden all at the same time. They are set up well here.
If they can carry this up into the next cut and maybe use it, they might opt to hold it because you can still get ghosted. This golden is really valuable, and you don't want to get ghosted before you can make the full value out of it. But we'll see what Laura opts to use with this. An amazing shock for Brazil. It might have even been Hong Kong Taiwan's, but ghosting there is the obvious play, so very good. A blue does come out. Depends on when it's going to reach Laura. If it reaches her in time, then this will be a very okay use of the golden shroom. I think this is like even a good usage if they use it a little bit early, but they have to wait for the blue just in case. And hopefully for no ghost for Laura, and they do dodge the blue and they use the golden, and they will be gone in first.
And that is a great use of that golden. But we do see now AE87 in the back, filling up, getting actually a lot of spots, and also having a golden in 5th is going to be a key indicator of this race and just trying to find themselves back towards the front. Try to catch 2nd at least, but having that bomb, having to avoid it is such a big play. But again, they're going to opt to save it. And I like that play because they have so many mushrooms. And really at this point, Hong Kong, Taiwan has put themselves at least now in a better position where they once were. I think they're 3, 4, 5 now.
Golden Shroom or just any Shrooms in the glider is incredibly fast. That Golden was really good. They're 2 through 5, so everything behind 1. Shock comes out. Might be Hong Kong, Taiwan, because they just got first after set, so, and they're all on glider. So you can see Shroom Rang as you see some chaos here from AE87. Pulling a bill at this stage of the race would be huge. Someone often sees it right away as Charlie. The bill at the ending section, I think it takes you nearly the whole way if you use it in a certain spot. So if AE87 does not get an item, that is tragic. I think that might be their race over unless somebody fails the cut.
Yeah, and that's going to be really unfortunate for them. But we do see Laura nailing this no item shortcut, cutting off that turn, and now having a banana in first, and really having a sizable gap, honestly. People are going to pull mushrooms and try to shroom up, but I think Laura has this one in the bag. They're going to hold on for the win here, and that's such a massive first place, down 20.
Dodging there with the golden shroom being stolen really just gave Laura a huge lead. The shock did not do much since there was probably booster panels that Laura was able to instantly speed up from, so shock did not do too much. It's 1, 3, 4, 6, 8, 10 for Brazil. A decent, like an okay salvage from Hong Kong, Taiwan. I think it might be tied after this, but a really good showing from Brazil on this track. And there was indeed a DC, so the score, just look at the bottom part for the score. I need to look at the screen.
Yeah, this is turned into a very close war, and also a war of momentum. It has been momentum all the way, and both of these teams have really found themselves in a interesting spot here because of that race in particular. I think we're really close at this point, as you said. So these next couple of tracks approaching the end is going to be huge. And it's just, again, momentum really matters in this game. And if you get your track pick and really stick with it, and even if you don't get it and do well, it's just such a massive indicator of success to come as we are going to Warrior Shipyard.
Yeah, we see Hong Kong Taiwan have a 4-point lead, very slim, but they have the lead still. Both teams, as we already said, they know they can get to good races. But right now, they don't need good races. They just need the races that can put them ahead, keep them ahead. As we saw, I think every single time the team got a good race, they had that front presence. So they're going to be fighting for that. They really need to keep that front presence to get those big races. So the name of the game is hold A and run, run, run.
Yeah, and as we see this start, getting an item box is huge here. AE does pull at least an item, and having triple mushrooms as well, they are setting themselves up well. But we do see a couple other players having mushrooms as well, and probably what AE is going to do is probably use it up here to at least cut this turn off, and we do see that with a lot of other players as well. Charlie up there and one more, but I think it's 2, 3, 4 at least for Hong Kong, Taiwan. Edu is up there as well.
Ison 3 does cause a lot of damage here for EDU. He's going to probably try and protect him. He opts to throw it 4. I think he meant to back that there. Unfortunately, he misinputted. I think there's still 2-3. No, 2-4 as Lara has triple reds. And Charlie misses the horn on Lara as they are 2.
Yeah, and 3-4 here, though. They are still close up there, and they have 11th, so it's not like they're giving Brazil bottom 2 odds. But the blue shell is out, and that is going to hit one. Oh, but I think they might have. I think they fell off actually. Edu falling off to avoid the blue, but they do lose a spot in the process.
Yeah, falling off for blue shell is faster in this game compared to other games. So really good for him to find that, because being blued in the water is just devastating. As we see Lara into the Shroom Bomb. If they're able to get ahead of Tef here, they can try and bomb them on the rail, which would be pretty hard to do unless Tef failed. I don't know. There they are. If you see Tef moving around very weirdly, that is probably due to lag, but you might. Oh, he might have just failed. Yes, he. Okay, Lara's in 1. Lara's in 1. It's 1-3 for Brazil.
Yeah, and at this point, having a mushroom as well, they are setting themselves up well, just like the last race. And now they can really just play it effectively unless there is a shock. We do see, again, they're battling for it, so I don't think it has been pulled. So Laura at this point getting ghosted, but I don't think that's really that bad because they can go for a double here. The red coming out
Oh,
and the feather going to have to be used, so they're going to lose a little bit of time, as well as the blue shell coming out as well, and that's going to send them down. And I think Charlie is going to be able to take first over and having those bananas. Oh, and getting
oh,
hammered as well and losing all of that time. What a salvage from Brazil, or Hong Kong, Taiwan, excuse me. I think getting top two there.
I think they were everything behind Lara going it. Okay, 2 through 6 for Brazil. I was expecting a much bigger race for Hong Kong Taiwan. Getting that one saves that race for sure. They were 2 through 5, I think, going into last when Lara went into last set. So something must have happened there for them to lose all those spots. But Charlie getting that one, clutching up that one, saves the race.
It definitely does. And getting first there, honestly, is such a great play, even with the blue. Getting first there to begin with is just, it saved it, as you said. And unfortunately, the rest of the team really couldn't get into those top spots. But again, getting first there was a big help, and it really lessened the blow here because they are only down 12. Again, it's been back and forth this entire war.
Yeah, we're going to get to the last GP, I think, or we might have already played one of the races. We see Chi Chi Falls and Faraway Oasis coming out here. Faraway Oasis probably being the Brazil pick, being 2 through 6, but the 1-0 pick, Cheap Cheap Falls, is being picked here for Hong Kong Taiwan. If he is able to pull shrooms in one, this could be huge. He can just run away in one. Bar second, pulling a red, obviously. Hitting the Tarzan, very hard cut, and the ending disc. Or he could just shroom through the ending disc. But if you pull shrooms in this track, you can get a very huge lead, and that's what Hong Kong Taiwan is looking for here.
Oh, absolutely. And Tarzan in this game is one of the most important shortcuts to know. You have to be able to nail it if you want to maintain front presence at all within this track. But unfortunately, AE getting hit early there. But again, I don't think it's that bad because, again, all these players are going to go for Tarzan, so it's going to be a matter of if they have the spacing for it, so that way they don't really fail here. But actually, AE and a couple other players as well are going to opt to go for either
Oh,
ice
I
and
think it's the
fire. Such an
Avatar
interesting
pull.
combo.
He gets the Avatar pull, the Ice and Fire. Not the best pull, obviously. He's probably going to try and change this for a better item here. Bills can be very good. As he gets one item, that's all you need for the cut. You gotta be careful going into this cut because if you go too tight, then you can go out of bounds. It's very, very harsh. But you have equal odds in the back here for Hong Kong, Taiwan, and Brazil. As you see, Laura have 2 shrooms in third, taking this cut really fast, which is very, very important. And I think it's top 3. So as we see Charlie coming with triple reds, breaking these tops very easily, killing all 3 of the members, I think. Or just one of them. That's a target Kamek there. I don't think they're going to be able to take the... Oh, Lara is able to get it barely on Pianta. No, just about misses it due to the detach.
That's super unfortunate, honestly. Oh, and getting squished as well. That's going to lose even more time. But they do have bottom 2, at least for, well, they did, but great use of that break button there. And now I think it's a key situation. But we do see, I believe, I think it's 2 through, it's so mixed, I can't even tell. But
I
I
think
do
it's one
know
three.
that Toadette is gone. But the blue shell is out as well. So that's going to stop all of their momentum. And having a
Oh,
Bill and ninth, such a great pull from Lara.
they might have shock. I think using try and get the bill out in 6th here. They might have it. Honestly, oh no, should you go for the Nisk? They might not have it. Then never mind. As we see them go for this Tarzan, if they do land Tarzan, this is huge. I think Lara wins this race off rip. If you use Bill and Cock, it is just a huge time save. As the shot comes out from Hong Kong Taiwan, they both dodge in Bills. I don't think Lara's guaranteed to get a dodge there. It's top 3 for Hong Kong Taiwan. That is huge. It might be top 3, bottom 3, a sandwich there. Really good race for Hong Kong Taiwan.
And that shock was so great because it got, yeah, top 3, bottom 3. I believe that is absolutely a
That is a
winning
game.
race still for Hong
Should be
Kong,
+6,
Taiwan.
I think.
And yes, yes. And I feel like you needed to just use it there because you wanted to use it before the items, and you also wanted to use it before giving the opportunity for Laura to use that bill in the cut. So that was just a great shock and honestly a great salvage. Top three, bottom three, not particularly bad. But again, we are entering, I think this is race 10 coming up.
Yes. Yes.
So this is going to be huge coming up. Only down 8 as well.
Only down 8. It's very, very easy to lose this lead. Very simple to extend this lead. So, yeah, just using that shock early. That's why I use those shocks early. You don't wait until the cut. If Lara used the bill even a little bit earlier, you wouldn't expect that. Not many people would usually expect that because the bill goes around the cut if you use it there. You have to go into the cut, use the bill, and then it takes it. If Lara did that, she gets first, guaranteed. But that shock coming in, she was able to get the boxes, fortunately for her, and probably shouldn't through the cut, which let them get top 3, bottom 3 for Hong Kong Taiwan. But good salvage from Brazil. Oh, it looks like a DC from Brazil. That's gonna hurt. It's gonna be an 11-player
Especially
race.
at race 10. That is really going to hurt. And especially on a track like Salty, it's I don't know.
Yeah. So in 11-player, you can pull shock in 10th and 11th, just like bottom 2 in a 12-player race. You can pull triple shrooms in 4. So the item odds are almost the same, but it's a lot of pull triple shrooms in 1 here. Update and all. But it's gonna be an advantage here for Hong Kong Taiwan as they're gonna be 6-3-5. Brazil are gonna be trying to either just salvage the race or getting winning race. It's not possible, but they're guaranteed last.
Yeah, I feel like they have a great opportunity, especially on a track like Salty Speedway, to get a good race. Even in an 11-player lobby, honestly, I think it's possible here. Having 3 mushrooms and a golden is a great item to have, especially in this situation. I believe at this point, I think Brazil has some top spots, so that's going to dictate a lot.
Hong Kong Taiwan have broken into it a little bit. They're kind of contesting it back here. Lara's in last, probably going for the shotguns in Bill right now. No shotgun play at the moment, as we see Lara have Bill triple streams on our end. Aiden has a golden. It's really split. I think it's 2 for 2 on top 4 for either team, or I think it's 3 of top 5 for Hong Kong Taiwan. So we'll see how they manage to handle it. As Aiden gets fired, not able to chain that last shroom. Could get something really bad behind it. Gets a golden, good enough.
And honestly, that pull is really solid here. And having a golden, especially in the middle of the pack, is just such a great pull. But again, this pack is so close. They're going to opt to use it now, actually, because they failed a little bit there. But having another mushroom and also having another item set is still in play.
Yeah, I don't think that... Oh, Lara has shock after Bill in 6th. In MKWorld, everyone you shock, everyone behind you does not get shocked, so I'm going to assume they slow down here. They're going to keep on going in 5th. This could be really beneficial as they chain it. I think it is set. Everyone behind them dodge, including Maxu here, who gets green shelled. Foul kills their own teammate as Lara goes off the track here, or off the side. It's 1-3-4 for Hong Kong Taiwan, as Lara loses a lot of time due to the boomerang. That shock being used in 5th was a much bigger cost than they thought it would have been. Yeah, that's a huge race, I think, for Hong Kong Taiwan. 1-3-4-7, 10-11. Last for Brazil because of the DC. And they're probably back in the lead.
I think they're definitely back in the league at this point. And that shock, as you said, it wasn't of their favor. And I'm surprised about that. I'm surprised they didn't just stop and kind of wait for everybody to pass the set. Maybe that would have been a better play at that point. But again, it's all about execution, and I feel like getting that in 5th and using that in 5th, as you said, just wasn't what they kind of were looking for in that situation. But again, 2 races to go. This war is still extremely close, and one big race from Brazil can really put it out of reach. Honestly,
they're tied.
We are.
Yeah. So that shock was, I think more Hong Kong Taiwan players were in front of Lara at that point. That's why they opted to use it, but it just didn't play out as much as they hoped. Falling off the cut there on Salty, like just going into the water, is really, really bad. It just loses you a lot of time. So that's unfortunate for Lara, but they're tied. So it might have been a bad race for Brazil, but only -8 for a DC. That's not the worst salvage of all time.
It's not. As we go to Dandelion Depths, and this is really a who knows? Because the teams are tied. It's really Yeah, it's going to be a very interesting race. But immediately, AE going into the air and losing actually a lot more time than I thought. So they're going to opt to really
Yeah.
just go wide and go for coins here. And I like that play, putting themselves in a great position and actually going to the top path, guaranteeing themselves a double box.
A lot of people might not know about that, but there is a top path there. It takes you a while to get there. It's not that worth it post update since you can see equal triple shroom red in 11. Gonna cause some chaos on Fa here as it's the top 3 for Brazil. A lot of this track is revolved around the ending shroom cut, so Golden Mega can just carry this mega up. It's gonna be really good for Hong Kong Taiwan as we see a lot of Brazil in the bottom spots here.
And they're going to probably opt to use it now. They're actually going to gain a lot more spots than I thought they were going to gain, and they're going to keep going with it as well. So 3-4 for Hong Kong, Taiwan, and also having a mega as well in third, such a massive thing to have because they can go for the shortcut at the end of the lap, but also they could really, they're going to actually opt to use it now. And this play, I don't know if I like it because at the same time, just, I don't know if I like that.
They're trying to grief the players. They do get Lara with the trail, and Lara does turn them back in retaliation. It's top 3 for Brazil as they die to something. I was not able to see it, but I saw on the minimap. All 3 of them dies. You see a hammer and feather in 9-4-8. So it's not the best ball of all time, but is able to get a lot of the Brazil players with that hammer. He can take the cut with a feather. He might go for it here. He does not. But yeah, going around the cut here, a lot of time is gone if you don't go for the cut.
They are giving themselves a better position now, at least to pull a dodge. But they are going to pull a golden instead, and we do see one of the Hong Kong Taiwan members pulling a bill actually and using it. So that's going to be a big help as well. But I feel like at this point, you don't want to give Brazil bottom 2 odds. But you do have first, and look how far first is. First is gone at this point, and if they have a mushroom of any sorts, they can definitely win this race. But we don't know that.
Oh no, first
sure.
is in a ghost.
I think they got hit out. I think it was lag actually, and they took it back.
I think they were in a ghost in 1, I think. They did get hit by a red shell, it seems. Unless someone has shroom, they're not going to be able to hold first here. It's only in the video we can see. As we can see, 87 shrooming up. Not getting many spots. It's only his teammate that he overpasses, and Brazil do get 1. I think it's 2-3-4 or 2-3-6. Something like that for Hong Kong Taiwan. Bottom 3 for Brazil. That's definitely a game for Hong Kong Taiwan. A very small one. 135 is a good salvage from Brazil. I think it's gonna go down to the wire for this last race. It's gonna be like a very small game, maybe +4 or something. But
yeah, this race is for everything, and especially in this group, the play-in stages, it really matters, and it really all comes down to this last race. And again, it was, as you said, probably a very, very small game, and at this point, you just have to get a winning race if you're either team. Honestly, like even like a +8, I think for Brazil would be enough to win. Yes, a +8 would be enough. Yes, it would be enough if it was a +8. So Brazil needs a +8. Hong Kong just needs a winning race and or to not lose by more than 4 to tie it. So it'd be interesting to see what they're going to do here, what they're going to opt to. Actually, Mario Circuit here being picked as well as Dry Bones Burnout. And again, it all comes down to this.
Dry Bones Burnout. This is honestly a bigger racetrack than what they need here for, I'm assuming, I think Brazil picked this. But shock is devastating on this track. If there's no shock, the runners win. If there is a shock, the baggers win. Unless you have a huge lead in the top spots. So you really want to run on this track. You want to get that front presence. You can pull shrooms at the start and you can just chain them into more shrooms if possible.
Yeah, being in the front, I think on this track, especially with it being the last race, is just really what you're wanting to go for. And honestly, just definitely the play here is we see a lot of players opting to go for that charge jump shortcut and those triple greens being pulled as well. Going to hurt Lara a little bit, but getting a draft up there is going to help them. But missing that item box, I know it's early, but kind of not the thing you want in this scenario. But again, it's still early.
I think it's top 2 or just 2 for Hong Kong Taiwan. As we see them going the rail with triple greens. There is an upcoming shortcut here. People might go for it. A horn for Lara here could be really helpful. Not going for the charge jump shortcut, does get that. It's a lot of pandemonium here, and the guys, everyone's trying to kill each other to make sure that they pass that cut. tries to get somebody on the respawn, and having triple greens out in 6th. It's one through top 2 for Brazil at the moment.
Yeah, and this is such a great race. Also, pulling a bill there is Lara, and a golden as well is such a great pull to have. And at this point, you have to think that they're probably going to hold it for the shortcut at the end of the lap. And that could be huge, especially now with Brazil being in the top. I think Hong Kong might need a pull shock here.
Yeah, Lara holding that Bill Golden, she's not going to be able to roll for the shock anymore. So Brazil are probably going to have somebody drop back instead of her. If not, then Hong Kong Taiwan are going to have all the time in the world to pull the shock if they do need one. As he goes for the camera snipe with the Rang, and he goes into the lava for it. Misjudges it, gets redded. It's disaster for 887. He does pull a ghost for his troubles. It's bottom 2 for Hong Kong Taiwan. Lara might still hold her bill, but at the moment, no, she has used her bill. It's looking like Hong Kong Taiwan are top 2. It's really close in terms of the tops. If anyone has shrooms, it's going to be very big. No shock at the moment. No shock. They might have shock in last, but at the moment we do not know.
Yeah, and at this point,
Bill. No
there
shock.
it is. Multiple players are using bills.
Blue
this
is
is
out.
going to be the last corner. We do see triple mushrooms being pulled here. Is it going to be enough? Is the question. I really don't know who won that race. It was a sandwich.
Looks like who got first there? It was Brazil, but Hong Kong Taiwan got a decent amount of top spots there. It's nice. It's a win for Hong Kong Taiwan. It's 2 through 6. What a performance!
Honestly, what an adjustment as well. Holding those top spots at the end really sold it and really gave Hong Kong the win. And they only won. I think it was very, very close. So great job by both of these teams to really hold on there and provide such a great war.
It was an amazing performance from Hong Kong, Taiwan there. Just being able to get those really strong races. But unless one of them DC, that might have been a different result, but I think it was still a win for Hong Kong Taiwan by 16. At the start of the war, we saw Brazil feel like they're going to run away with it. They got really good races in the first 2 races, a lot of momentum swing, and then all of a sudden Hong Kong Taiwan are up 40 after I think halftime or 5 races. And then Brazil got like really good race on Sky High, and then they just started trading good races just by each other. A lot of 2 through 6s, and then Hong Kong Taiwan getting that 2 through 6 at the end of burnout. Those bills at the end really helped them just come back, even though they were in the bottom spots.
It really did. And just the strategy that both of these teams utilized definitely helped them put themselves in a great position. Hong Kong, Taiwan is going to get the win, 500 to 484. Such a great performance from them, really holding on to that lead and just making the mental adjustments. But we are going to be right back with the next match, which is coming right up in about 7 minutes or so. We got Switzerland also playing Hong Kong, Taiwan. So we're going to be right back with that.
EP. Okay.